Hey guys, it's Joe with Pocketnow.com, and a little while ago I showed you Honeycomb, or what looked like Honeycomb, running on my Android-powered G2. Now it really wasn't Honeycomb, it was just a theme and a bunch of customizations, but it looked somewhat convincing. This time, it's the real deal. It's Honeycomb running on a Nexus 1. Let's go take a look. Okay, so this is a T-Mobile Nexus 1. What I've done is I went through and I backed up everything so that when I'm done with this process I can restore it. After that, then I did a complete wipe and factory reset, and then I flashed the SDK-ROM from XDA developers for Honeycomb. Now you can find a link to that over in the article at Pocketnow.com. But what I'm going to do now is reboot the system so I can show you the first boot. Goes through and it says rebooting. We get the standard Nexus 1 boot screen. Shows that I have it unlocked. This part usually takes about 15 seconds. Then after that we're going to be into a first boot. Now remember, first boots take longer than normal boots, and this is just a basically a port from the SDK, the Software Developers Kit, over to the Nexus 1. It's so alpha, they did not even publish a list of things that they know isn't working. That's how not working it is. They're calling it an alpha, but it really is just a proof of concept. So we have the old-fashioned Android boot animation way back from the, what was that, the 1.6 days, where we just have the Android Word with the nice glossy animation scrolling across it. Now it's going to do that for a few minutes, and then we're going to come up into the Honeycomb desktop. Okay, and a lot faster than I thought it would be. Here we are at the desktop. It's still painting the widgets onto it, but you can see we've got a very small Google search, apps, your plus sign, and all of your tablet stuff. I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit so you can see this a little bit closer. Up in the corner. Over there, get a nice reflection of the camera there. But you can tell that this actually is Honeycomb, although not all that usable on a Nexus 1. So let's go ahead and look at apps. And here are our apps. Somewhat obvious, you can't see them all. See if I can get this to rotate into landscape. And it looks like it's not going to do that for us. But there's our apps. We can't see them all. We can kind of see if we can scroll a little bit here. And it's not letting us scroll. Go back home. Here's our Google search. We'll tap on that. I had a nice little highlight there. And now I have the Google search box with a really funky looking keyboard. Now of course this keyboard is optimized for tablets, which generally speaking are bigger than smartphones. So the keyboard is kind of all squished together, but we can see this. Kind of hard to type with my left hand and with the very skinny keys here. But anyway, you can see how that works. Let's see what else we have. So there's our task manager with our search box down at the bottom. See if we can open a couple more apps and see what we get. Calculator's always a good one. A little bit slow on responsiveness, but that's kind of to be expected. A little bit off on the text layout there, again just due to the space constraints of the screen. But now when we go back home and back to our task list, now we've got search and we've got calculator as well. So really nice. I like this glow. I like the way that it's presenting the recently used applications. Just looks very elegant with the glow behind it. Let's see what else we can do here. Got a clock down there, way down in the bottom. I don't know if you can even see that. So let me see what else I can find. I'll be right back. I fired up the music player, and unfortunately this is the, it looks like the traditional music player, not the new Honeycomb version that we've seen recently. But I do want to show you the volume slider. So up on top you can see that nice dialog box with a glow around it, just a very subtle glow, and your volume up and down. Now of course you're not hearing anything. It's because audio isn't working on this, like a lot of stuff. An awful lot of stuff isn't working on this, but it's really kind of cool to see what is here, what's available, and what it could look like to actually run a tablet OS on your smartphone. And you can see it is very, very doable here. One thing that they've added that didn't come included in the SDK is the file manager that comes with Cyanogen mod ROMs, so you can go down here and look at the contents of your device and your SD card. You'll notice, just like with Gingerbread, we've got the little "Hey, you're at the top" pulse and glow with the orange color there. That's probably a carryover from Gingerbread rather than Honeycomb. See if we can go back home. I'll see what else I can dig up. Alright, last thing I'd like to show you is dropping widgets on the screen. You see I've already done one of those with my music player widget. So we come over here and hit the plus sign in the top right corner, and you can see we've got all these different things we can do. We've got widgets, we can add app shortcuts, wallpapers, and more. It's kind of a little choppy here, but that's kind of to be expected. So let's go ahead and select the analog clock. And now it should be over on that screen, and we can tap on it, tap and hold just like we are accustomed to, I believe, and just drag it down to wherever we want it to go. Now you'll notice I've got a little grid of plus signs, and that grid helps me know where I can drop widgets, what's available, what space is available to be able to drop something. So there's an improvement there. Wallpapers function very much the same. So we don't have too many of those. Let's see if we can go into a live wallpaper. And it says no live wallpapers were found, so we'll cancel that. We could go into gallery. Looks like it doesn't come with the stock ones. But anyway, kind of nice to see what Honeycomb could look like running on a smartphone. In this case, it's actually Honeycomb running on a smartphone. Not ready for you to use yet, but if you want to impress your friends and show off what you can do and what Google said they wouldn't do and others said couldn't be done because it's just a different thing, completely different beast, tablets versus smartphones. I mean, very, very different beast. Neat to see what you can do. So if you want to go ahead and give this a try, head over to Pocketnow.com, look up the article that's going to be entitled Honeycomb Running on the Nexus 1, something to that effect. Make sure if you like this kind of video that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our video channel so that you don't miss out on the cool next stuff. These guys are going to be doing a lot more development, and they might even get something that's functional and usable as a daily driver on the Nexus 1, and we've seen it on some other devices as well. So who knows, we might actually get a Honeycomb build for various devices before most devices get Gingerbread on them. Anyway, fun things to think about. Showing off Honeycomb for real this time on the Google Nexus 1. For Pocketnow, I'm Joe Levi. Hey guys, just when you thought it was over, there's one more thing, and I didn't see this when I was shooting, so I want to show you now. This is the phone turned off or in a sleep mode. Let's go ahead and turn it on, and you can see now here the Honeycomb lock screen with the neat time and date up on the top, little lock, and if we grab onto this and pull it, you can see we get this little ripple effect. We can pull that lock right outside, and there we go, we're at the desktop again. Now a little bit more that's on that screen. If we turn it back on, down here at the bottom it says there's no internet connection. That's no Wi-Fi, that's no HSPA+, HSPA, Edge, GPR, nothing. It's this phone is no longer a phone. It doesn't do anything for you. But then again, it's not supposed to. This is just a demo to show that the SDK can be ported to run over on smartphones. The OS does run, and now it's a matter of getting drivers and configurations to work. Anyway, I wanted to come back in and show you that cool lock screen before I sent you away. Thought you might like it.